our projects are based on cost. And I want to make that clear that it's not some blanket amount that every project is the same. It just depends on what it costs to get there and what it costs to stay there and what meals cost and all that kind of thing. You know, it's just what it costs. And I would say, generally speaking, today, that the average cost is going to range between $2,000 and $3,500. And it just, once again, it just depends on the cost of the flights, cost of the hotels that we stay in. We stay in kind of 3-star hotels. We don't go for the fanciest, but you know, we want to stay in a clean place. And so around $2,000 to $3,500. I do want to emphasize too that anyone can go on our projects. You don't even have to be a musician to go. And that would be a question that you might not have even thought about asking. And but we want to really emphasize that. We have many spouses who are maybe not musicians that come along with their husbands or wives on the projects, and we find that they are incredibly, I hate to use the word useful, I think that they get to be used too to serve as well in not only mundane things and helping with setup and stuff, but they have opportunities to connect with people and build relationships with them while we're actually playing. And so we encourage, we want people to know that they can come and join us regardless of whether you're a musician or not on every single project we do. Our average project length is a 10-day project, and that includes the travel days. And what we normally do is we try to schedule a trip from Thursday till the following Saturday. That means that everybody only misses one Sunday and one Wednesday. And so that's the reason it's really set up that way. And so generally everybody leaves on a Thursday and they return home, they get home on the following Saturday. You know, that varies a little bit too, and I'll give you some examples of why and how. With our orchestra teams, we're primarily doing what I call church orchestra literature with them. And so there's our orchestras often have a variation in level, but as long as we have leadership in every section, we always survive very, very well. And the group comes together and forms an orchestra amazingly quickly. And we thus far have not ever had a project that I would consider to be unsuccessful musically. They've been good. With our jazz bands, and by the way, we have a name for our orchestras. The generic name is the Celebration Orchestra. And we use that name. It doesn't have any connotation from a religious perspective or from a secular perspective. And we do the same thing with our jazz band. It's called Metro Big Band. And with the Metro Big Band, though, we do a lot more big band standards, big band standard songs that a jazz band in the secular world might do, depending on the culture again, where we are. And sometimes the playing level is a little more demanding with the jazz band. So we do encourage people that are interested in one of the Metro Big Band projects that they really understand the jazz idiom and have some experience doing that. We don't have auditions at all for any of the projects. In my first couple of years of doing this, I had some anxiety in preparation for the projects, not sure exactly what we were going to end up with musically. And but you know what? I don't have that anymore. I watch God put these teams together. And all of the positions, the jazz band is a very fixed instrumentation. It's 5 saxophones, 4 trumpets, 4 trombones, piano, drums, bass, and maybe guitar, and a singer. So it's a very specific instrumentation, and it's first come, first served. As the people sign on to the project, once it's full, it's full. With the orchestras, we have a lot more freedom, and generally speaking, there's no limitation to the size. I mean, if we had a 100-piece orchestra go, it'd be fine with me, you know. But we generally, those orchestras usually run somewhere in the 30 to 40 range in the number of players. So, but there's no limitation on it. First thing they do is sign on to our website, which is www.globalmissionsproject.com. That's missions plural, project singular. Globalmissionsproject.com. And there's on the home page there's 5 buttons, 3 gold ones and 2 blue ones. And the gold ones are the ones they'd be concerned with. The first one says find a project. The second one says register for a project. And you know what? I can't remember what the third one is, but the first 2 are the main ones anyway. And On those, you just go and look at the projects that are there. In the terms of the open projects, they're always down at the bottom of the next page. And there's a whole list of all the projects where we have invitations from missionaries all over the world. But the ones where we've already specified dates and locations, they're down towards the bottom. And they say open teams, and or open projects. And so they go and look and see if they have a little twinge in their heart about something that's pulling on them. Maybe they'd like to go there and be a part. And I can tell you this: we don't go anywhere. We don't. When we communicate with a missionary on the field, we never ask them, "Will you let us come and will you set up some concerts for us?" That's not the question we ask. The question that we ask is, would you like to have a music team to come and support your ministry and your strategy and what you're doing? And do you see that as a possibility that would work for you? And so what we're initially looking for is missionaries that we're working with, where we go, and our goal is that at the end of the week, we've left them stronger than they were in their community than when we got there. So that their connections and their relationships, new relationships have been built, new connections have been built, and that the ones that they already have are even stronger than they were before. Obviously, our primary two purposes in any mission project is evangelism, sharing Christ with people. Number two, and a very important one, encouraging the body of Christ. There are many places we go where the church is persecuted, and to be able to come in and encourage the believers there is a very, very significant role, and I think equally as important as the evangelism. So our goal is to go and work within the strategy of the missionaries we're working with, and to fit into their plan and work with them and let them guide us in what they want to see accomplished.